You can keep talking though.
Yeah,
Dang.
I should ask you for the link to put on my Facebook.
I'm gonna intro you, and then gang gang gang. We're gonna go from there. Welcome to Vlogmas, everyone. I'm your host, Myles. I got a special guest, Jeffrey Alvarez. Jeff
What's
is
good,
a
bro?
Hey, what's good, my brother? Yo, Jeff is a brother from another mother. I knew him since I was 7 years old, and he's always been an
Facts.
intricate part in to do whatever like anyone needs for him. He's just like a man of service. You know what I mean? A man of service, anything you need. Whether it was like, yo, I know I got a son coming up, and he's a AAU coach. If I ever need anything to do what I gotta do for my son, he's there. But
Indeed,
today,
indeed.
but today, he's here for Haitian Vlogmas. Right? Haitian
South by
Vlogmas.
say.
Say. So Haitian Vlogmas, day 15. Jeff, you have anything you want to say to the audience before we start?
First of all, I just want to say, I thank God for you, and I appreciate you for being my brother from another mother. What we talking about? I'm talking about what, over 25 years of friendship and
Right.
brotherhood that really
Crazy.
can't be erased. I'm gonna thank you for the opportunity for even being.
Nah, for sure.
I thank you for even the opportunity to be a part of your show, man. So yeah, just thank you, man. Let's have fun. Let's build. Let's build.
Right. And I don't even have any in my gear room, but of course, this show was brought to us by LVPRD. Our brother Chach, that's his joint.
Shots.
So you know what I mean, he here with us, but even though he not here with us on the show, but yeah, we're gonna talk heavy. So I'm gonna say it in Creole today, and then Jeff's going. I call him Giallo. He gonna bring it in English, and my Creole, of course, is not the best, but
Not to
that's
live
no
there free or
excuses.
free.
No excuses for this. You know what I mean? No excuses. So now it's my turn.
Sorry, boys.
Sorry, boys. Proverb. Ooh, this is not the proverb. That's honest from yesterday. So boom. Kreyon pe la pa jen gom. Kreyon pe la
Lapa
pa
Jengu.
jen gom. Okay. In English.
The people's pencil has no eraser. The
Mm.
people's pencil has no eraser.
What that mean to you, good brother?
To me, that means that the people lack the willingness to correct mistakes. The people lack the willingness to accept accountability. There's a
Mm.
lack there. There's a lack of self awareness, and there's also there's a I don't care, like it is what it is attitude. There's an attitude that's not conducive to building the community. There's an attitude that's not conducive to the overall goal for the community, or yeah, the community. When you say people, you mean community. So the community at hand.
Right.
That's what I
So
took from it.
mm. So in context, right? I look at it like this. Because like, when you look at a proverb, you look at it. Well, at least I look at it like, all right, it's something that was said a million years ago or a couple hundred years ago, and like, how do I bring it to today? And when I bring it that today, the people's pencil has no eraser. It's like, yo, you can't make up for your mistakes. So some people can't say sorry, and there's certain things you can't say sorry for. Like as a man, I can't tell you sorry for everything, bro. Like how much am I gonna be sorry? It's more about action. So whatever I did, said, or good, bad, or indifferent, it already happened. So what am I talking about if I'm saying sorry? It's more about action. So whatever I did, there's no eraser for that.
Indeed, I mean I get that point. However, the best apology can be like change behavior, like you said. But in order for it to be change behavior, you have to see where you made the mistake at. You have to be able to be apologetic for everything. I won't say everything, but if you're apologizing, you have to know what you're apologizing for. Because and What I say is that accountability brings healing to the other person. It allows the individual who's taking accountability to heal. I mean, to learn from their mistakes. Like no matter what mistakes it is, we can learn from the actual mistake and move on the proper way. But so, for example, right, biblically, right, if you want to look at a biblical, I'm going to touch the Bible one way or another. I have to bring it in.
That's
Um,
fine.
there's a story about the prodigal son. He got all his riches from his father. He spent all the riches, and once he spent all his riches, they said that he was eating it done. He was eating with the pigs. You know what I'm saying? He was out on the streets, living lower than below his means, lower than his needs. But the Bible says that he came to himself. In other words, he realized where he went wrong at. He realized that he could be doing better in life. So when he realized this, he goes back home and then have a he apologizes to his father for leaving the way he left. That accountability got him back, and the change behavior got him everything that he was got him back on track. If that makes sense.
Now that makes perfect sense, but I guess it's like in like we could take it biblically. It's like yo, like the that's why they say the people's pencil, right? Because the people's pencil, like, so like if you look at it, like a pencil is known to have an eraser,
Indeed.
right?
And known to break.
But when it says the people's pencil, it could mean it's a reason probably why it doesn't say a person's pencil, right? Because so like all right, so back to your original point is like yo, we all act as one at times, but like is that an individual need or want when you're talking about the action? And then when it's like it has no eraser, if you doing something that like your sister, your mother, your friends are not down with, when you look back, they're like, "Yo, Jeff, how much thought did you put in this? How much thought are you putting in this?" And you like, nothing. Like this is what everybody doing, and it's like, man, you a sucker. And you like, oh, you know what? You making me think about it, but it's like, can I forget that you ever was a sucker? You know, no, for real. Like this is why it's a proverb. It's old school shit. Like it's like, yo, this is why it's like that.
Well, um, you can do something. You can make a sucker decision and make a sucker move and not actually be a sucker.
Mm, right.
You know what I'm
But you
saying?
can't
So like you
erase it.
can no, you can't erase that moment, but you could also prove moving forward that that's not what you is. Because mistakes happen. Like it's life. Like we can't be caught up. We can't not negate the fact that mistakes doesn't happen. Like it is what it is. Sometimes mistakes do stain your character, and no matter what, you be fighting that mistake for the rest of your life, which is sad. It shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what, R. Kelly's always gonna be R. Kelly. Like we always
To
gonna see.
us,
What I'm saying is that no matter how much hit records he made, we always gonna look at what he did. Like that's it. Like I mean, so but I mean I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think it's no.
yeah. I just look at it like he's not gonna be R. Kelly, the you would say pedophile or whatever, to me most of the time because I always look at like who does the accountability really fall on, right? Now, we grew up in Queens and I know for a fact dudes was coming to the school checking up on shorties, like on 15-year-old, 16-year-old girls. That's a fact. Adult men, right?
Whole facts.
But that was happening at that time. So it was the culture. Ooh, I'm mad loud. Hold on. My headphones. I don't know something wrong. Yo, but look. So it was the culture, but I still look at it like, what was that? You know what I mean? Like, what was that? And I know it wasn't that everybody was just like in love with young girls, but I knew that most of those dudes didn't make it famous either. It's for it to be like spotlighted. You know what I mean?
Magnified.
Like, yeah. So like I seen it happening. Like that was the culture at that time. Dudes was like, "Y'all got me a young joint." Even old dudes I would see on the block, they like, "Y'all got me a little young joint." But then like when I talk to my wife about stuff like that, she'd be like, "What? Picking a 16-year-old up in the car?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was
Facts.
happening." And I
Facts.
was mad myself because I was like, yo, I liked her, but I don't got a Benz.
Facts.
So when it comes to R. Kelly, I don't see it like that. But as you grow in popularity, you you gain that. So let me give you a quick little story, real quick. So I was reading a Marvin Gaye book, right? And he was like a masochist. I never even knew that because his voice was so like dope. But his father, they grew up in a Pentecostal church, and his father was telling him like, yo, like the body is sin. So he didn't understand his attraction to females, and then when he tried to like really like bring it into who he was, he would turn into like, yo, he gotta punish them because they giving him the devil or whatever. And like it took him a minute to understand like that like love was beautiful even. You know what I mean? Because even though he was having sex, it was like it wasn't love to him. It was just like, yo, like the body is made to reproduce. But it was like when you hear that voice, you like, yo, who not gonna fall in love with that voice? You know what I mean? But he was dealing with a
That's
lot of demons.
it. Well, it's crazy you bring that up, right? Because I've dealt with that,
Mm-hmm.
and recently I had to like come to terms to where the root of a lot of my lustful ways came from,
Mm-hmm.
and and it goes back to being a child and being exposed to pornography. So I had
Oh,
one of my
word.
sisters, you know, and I can say this because she told me I could speak about it. I'm just not going to say her name, but
Yeah.
I had one of my sisters, I had a sister of mine who was on drugs,
Mm-hmm.
and her husband used to give me pornography to distract me at night while they were in the other room getting high.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the porns that I watched, and it's an old school porn too, because they had Jerry curl juice. Just to give you
Mm.
a heads up, they
I
had
never
Jerry
seen
curl
that
juice.
shit. I'm a porn dude. Yeah, I never seen that. Yeah. I never seen a
Right?
porn and get drugs. Yeah.
No, so had Jerry curl juice, and the girl was calling him daddy. She's like, daddy, all this other stuff, right? And to me, I was like, yo, this is nasty. How can this father do this to his daughter? And how can a daughter like really appreciate her father giving her the business like that? So the next day, I'm walking my brother in and I'm like, yo, she's calling him daddy. I can't believe she did that. Like, how is that possible? And he goes, instead of him using that as a teacher moment to say, hey, little bro, this is a word of endearment. Sometimes men like when women say that for such and such reason. Something that could have had me boost my ego, which I'm glad it didn't.
Right.
He goes on to say, well, that happens in real life. So for me now, if I'm in a sack and a girl say daddy, my dick is soft and I'm leaving.
Mm.
Like it doesn't resonate as a yo, this is my baby as a word of endearment for me. It
Right.
resonates
Right.
as some type of trauma. It resonates to me as something that's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to happen. Like your father's not supposed to be penetrating his daughter, and that's all I hear from it, due to the
Mm.
fact of when it started, and then the explanation that was given to me when it could have been used as a teaching moment.
You got yeah. You know what? You know me, man. I'm gonna dig deep on that because um I gotta try to understand where that originally came from because like that gotta be some black shit, right? Like calling somebody daddy, like I don't see it. Like it's either gotta be like, an old man used to getting young chicks. Or like where do you think it originated from? Like I know booty comes from like the ship and shorties with like a big ass, whatever. And I learned that from Dick Gregory. But I'm like, yo, man, where did daddy come from to where it was like that's something that dudes take as a word of endearment. You know what I mean? And like, why is it sold in the porn that's only in the black community? And I'm not saying that white people never said it in their porn. It's just like interesting to me now that I'm gonna have to look deep in that because I don't know where that came from. And it is interesting that you said that.
I have the slightest clue, bro. I don't like
Mm.
it at all.
Yeah,
I
nah,
don't
it's
even know.
it's yeah.
Because me personally, I feel like some names are exclusive.
Mm.
So so I don't even like baby, bae, or babe.
Me neither.
I
It's like
hate all three of them people.
call me my first name because like to me that's like some player shit, right? It's like yo, I call all my girls beautiful. And now they all beautiful. And I can remember names like that. You know what I mean? So like that's all game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's one reason. And then most females don't got to relate. Most women rather, not females, because I know
Yeah,
you got to be political correct. Most women has been involved with some exes that they call babe, babe, or babe.
right.
I don't want you to confuse me with none of that. Nah,
Mm.
man. I'm 6'4". I'm thick and chocolate. Be creative.
So Kevin,
No,
yo,
I'm
nah, that's
serious.
fly. Nah. Be creative is one thing, but you know, like how it is when you're in a relationship, like y'all always come up with them little nicknames, and it's developed organically. So
Fact. So I have one girl that I call Brownie. So if I ever text her out the blue, Brownie, she knows exactly who it is.
right,
I got one girl I refer to as girlfriend, so she knows it immediately if it's me. She knows immediately it's me. I got one girl I call Honeydew.
yo,
She
but
already
but you
know.
just keep talking about these one, two, three girls, bro. Like this is this is a live show, my brother.
It's all
Like,
good. Okay.
oh, okay, yeah. So
No, no, I
okay,
don't care. No, I'm no. This is over a course of time. This ain't
oh,
now. No,
okay.
this is over a course of time, not now. Like, no,
Right.
no, 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 no,
Hmm.
no,
Yeah,
no,
I'm
no,
like,
no,
damn. Man. He said, I got one Vince and the
no, no, no,
other
no,
one.
no.
Yeah, I
Nah,
got
I'm not.
you.
I'm not a player enough like that. No
Yeah.
more. I'm not a whore no
Play
more.
it to me, like being a player is like the hardest thing in the world right now. You know what I mean? If somebody was to think of it, because it would take so much effort, and everything that come back is almost not worth it. At least it's that I look at it. Like before, you like I was talking. I forget who I was talking to about this, but it was like, back in the day, man, like we had like a 5 or 10 block radius. I knew people from here, right, from where you lived, what you lived in 191, right? I
Mhm,
lived in 193. French lived in 190, but it was like a rectangle. But it
mhm.
was like you knew everybody, everyone, but you ventured out to like Southside first, so you knew people all through Queens. But it was like, yo, Haji, I don't know everybody. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, we never been over there before. Yo, it's mad funny because I told French, like, I'm not going to say the names, but I'm like, yo, son, I caught these dudes in my backyard. And he was like, word? Yeah, we used to take bikes and shit too. And I was like, son, word? You used to take bikes? But it was like, yo, like that was a thing back in the day. They used to take somebody bike. But I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
son, like that was a non cipher for me, but I always had to fly a bike. But I understood what was going on culturally, and it was like, "Yo, son, did you need to take a bike?" And he was like, "Nah, that's what we was doing. That's what we was doing." I was like, "Yo, you know the trouble you," and he was like, "Nah, you know what's crazy? I never took a bike from somebody that wasn't my age or older, so I could like snuff them and just like they could eat it." I'm like, "Damn,
No,
that's a hell of a way
it's
to
great.
grow up."
Well, the thing with me, growing up in over there in Woodhull, and me knowing a lot of people is the fact that I played ball. I was into sports
Yeah,
heavy. Like, I mean, like me and you played baseball together. I played for
right.
your cousin's grandfather. He was my first coach. And like we said off air, like I was being recruited by the Cleveland Indians at 14, 13 years old.
But how'd you
We,
make your way over there though? Because that wasn't where we was at.
um, I had Shaki and Dula. Sorry, I could say a
Oh
name.
yeah,
They,
yeah, I know Shakir. Yeah, I know Dula. Yeah, okay.
they took around them cousins. So remember, their
Yeah,
church was in Southside. So I used to go to the church over
right.
there with them. You know what I'm saying? And ironically, they use that same church in what's the power show now? Canaan, the Canaan show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use the church for that joint right now. So I was over there and I was just meeting people on that side, like, but
Mm,
and then my mom's worked at the YMCA. YMCA, everybody was going there like that. It was either Jamaica or the Cross Island YMCA. So I was at the
right.
Cross Island with my mom's,
Hmm.
and then I was just meeting people from there and everywhere. So
Right, bro. So, man, I appreciate you for coming on the show, man. Any last words about the proverb, or is there any place that you want to tell the people where they can catch you at, or follow you, or just hear about you, especially when it comes to like that youth basketball, man? Because I feel like you're doing a very important thing, especially for the New York City listeners. Like as far as like structure, and the reason I say that is because a lot of people they understand the game of basketball from what they do in the park. But when you in the gym, and especially when you in an environment where you have coachable players rather than somebody who's just nice at playing basketball, it's a different dynamic. I felt like that's where I kind of fell off, even though I don't think I was ever that nice. But the ability to be coachable is something that you will learn from a Jeffrey Alvarez. It's like somebody that's going to be able to coach you and tell you how to hone in on your skills. So talk about that if you want to for the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, so years ago I started a basketball program called Aim High Basketball Academy out here in Jamaica, Queens, and we started off as an instructional camp. And then my partner, shout out to my partner Blake Gaston and Katrina Brown, Coach Tree, and we just chose to go into the AAU circuit. Um, right now, in the world, we ranked number 12 and 19. My oldest crew, the 17-year-old, they went to Orlando. We was in Orlando this summer, and these dudes played with so much grit. They only had 5 players. My nephew sprained his ankle and played all 8 games. One of my players got elbowed in the eye and had to get stitches. Went to get stitches and came back and played. Them boys played, and I just equate basketball to life. Really, rebounding is just something. It's not just getting the basketball off a missed shot, but it's really how you rebound off life. You may shoot your shot, but you may try to reach your goal in life. And how do you rebound after you fail? Michael Jordan said the reason he was able to succeed is because he failed over and over again. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't learn from the failures, then he wouldn't be able to actually succeed the way he's to be the goat that whom I consider the goat to be the goat. So it just a lot. I use life and basketball to teach these kids. You know what I'm saying? Assist is not just passing the ball; it's an assist. And how do you help your mother out in the household with chores? How do you help your little brother with their homework? How do you help your friend, your bro out when needed? It's not always with money, but just for the air, just for the air, just with how do you give them proper um, counsel, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? So I just use it as that. So you can catch us on Instagram, Aim High Eagles New York. You can catch my Instagram, J.Alvarez, KPG, King Production Group. I manage a DJ. Shout out to my DJ, DJ True Blends, DJ Trey, New York City. I'm about to start a management company, different level management, and then I'm about to I'm about to put out some projects myself musically as well. So I'm putting
Oh,
together an R&B project. The R&B and it's dope too. I tell you right now,
well,
it's
hit
just
us
dealing
with
with
something. No, fine.
nah. It's dealing with mental health and
Mhm.
love.
Right.
So I'm
That's
so
love.
I'm gonna use that spectrum and everything else. So like I got a lot of stuff coming in 2022. You know, I'm just taking these last couple of weeks to kind of grieve and just plan out. A month ago today, I lost my dad. So I've just been
Yeah.
in a real,
Sorry about that.
just trying to get myself out that, trying to, I don't want to say trying not to grieve because it is what it is. That's my
It's
dad meant
necessary.
everything to
It's
me.
necessary. It's necessary.
Just trying to figure out how I'm going to move on day to day with these different emotions. So I'm really considering seeing a therapist just to help me move forward. But I'm not used to a lot talking to
Yeah, bro.
people
I've been
too much.
seeing a therapist, Dr. Nagel. He watches this show every time, man. Yo, shout out to you, man. Like,
Doc,
it's
what
the
up? If Miles
yeah.
trusts you, then I can trust you.
No, that's
Send
my
me the
man
info.
right there. Nah, for sure.
Send me the info, bro.
Try to send
I'm
me some
serious.
better info as far like Dr. Nagel not taking nobody else on because he. I mean, I was seeing him for so long. I think he retired, but he just still rock with me. But yeah, for real, like that's how it is. I told him I need him till I'm done with at least my career. But yeah, man, if you it's about being vulnerable, man. Like if you just vulnerable, like just have somebody to really talk to that's not judging you. That's what it is all about. So yeah, my brother. So I love you, bro, and
Yeah, I
thank you
love
for
you too,
coming
bro.
on.
Thank you so much.
Now for sure to play us out. I'm about to play my. I wish I had some music. I do have some music, but I'm not gonna. I might use it for the. So for everybody that's listening, man, we live at 8 again with the show with the podcast. But this is Vlogmas, Jeffrey Alvarez, Miles Beecham. Ow, thank you.
What you about to play?
No, I got the. No, this is just like the end screen, but I